In 2018, I went back to Tanzania. This was my third visit, and I took a few days beforehand to get over the jet lag and visit a friend who I hadn't seen for about 20 years. I landed at Kilimanjaro International Airport and stayed overnight at a luxurious hotel. The first morning, I listened to birdsong and enjoyed a cup of tea before hopping on a smaller plane to Mwanza. I enjoyed a view of the mountains and saw Ngorongoro crater. I stayed at a small hotel in Usagara, which back in 2000 was little more than a gas station. The next morning, I enjoyed a breakfast of boiled eggs, chapati, and tea. Here is a view of a bee eater in the distance. The next day, we headed into Mwanza, but were forced to pause at the side of the road by some heavy rain. You can see the ditch is full of rainwater. Once the rain slowed, we continued on, and by the time we reached Mwanza, the sky was almost clear, and the roads were barely moist. We stopped for lunch for some delicious fried tilapia, and then visited a small zoo. Its big feature was a variety of poisonous and non-poisonous snakes to help educate people, as the typical response is to kill all snakes on sight. We even had crocodiles and Egyptian geese. The tortoise didn't want to be seen, but I was impressed by his feet. From my first visit to Tanzania, I remembered seeing how much of guinea fowl, and I was amused by their cute voices and round bodies. I had also seen the green monkey before, and I would later have a battle with one to protect my lunch during our safari on my next visit. They also had 3 African grey parrots, but I couldn't get them to say anything. The next day, it was time to head to Ukerewe Island via the ferry. On the weekend, I went on a small tour of some farms, and I got to feed some goats and see how participants cared for the chickens. Most of the workdays were spent trekking via vehicle across the island to various villages to provide medical care to those who were otherwise not likely to get it. They were long days, but great fun.
We're up to a 6 points. We're just up to 7.
Welcome back.
Austin Powers. Oh, you should have taken the 8. Should have taken the 8.
And 8-point turn successful.
Here, our driver had missed the turnoff and went down the wrong road. He quickly turned around and got us back on track. One of the afternoons forced us to shut down for a while as it rained so heavily. And I enjoyed meeting a small puppy at one of the other villages. All too soon, it was time to go back, and the ferry was packed again with transport trucks, people, and luggage, and it set off on its journey back to Mwanza. my room. You've got a bar. Pretty incredible. And this is the view from my room. Pretty nice. I stayed another couple of nights in Mwanza before returning to Canada, but not before experiencing another, more gentle rainstorm. Someone told me once that once you drink the waters of Africa, you will return. It must be true, because I keep going back. As always, thanks for watching. So, just an update on the flower, or the bulb that I rescued. So it looks like it is a, no, not a Mao, daffodil.